Black here, HomeStudioBasics.com, and today we will be reviewing the Sony MDR-V6. This is a closed-back circumaural headphone with a 63 ohm impedance. It has a frequency response of 5 Hz to 30,000 kHz. It's made of plastic, a bit of metal, and pleather. And so, first, we will talk about the build quality. Build quality is, I would say it's above average. This is a headphone that I'd feel comfortable dropping. In fact, I've dropped it a few times and it's been okay. It's not, I wouldn't call it indestructible like this bad boy right here. I could pretty much just toss it down, throw it, I could slam it into stuff and it's gonna come out on top. It's the Sennheiser HD25 and it's pretty much indestructible. The V6 it's not on that level, but it's still built pretty well. I mean, this is a headphone from the 70s and it's remained largely unchanged. It's a utilitarian sort of design. They haven't really updated it. In fact, if they were going to upgrade it, I would say detachable cable would be a must. Yeah, I'd give it an A- as far as build. I haven't had this issue with the V6s, but with the 7506, I can imagine it would be, you'd get the same type of issues because they're pretty much an identical headphone as far as build is concerned. The ear cups will peel and crack over time, and they'll leave these really annoying specks from the faux leather on your ears and inside your ears, but that happens after around 2 years, I would say, and you can always replace the ear cups. So that's really my main concern with the V6 is that the ear cups will break down, and sometimes, if you can see, right, this part will actually come out. Well, it happened with the 7506, and I would have to keep, putting the ear cup back in. But aside from that, this is a very well built headphone. It's got metal for the headband adjustment. Sounds good, feels good. Yeah, so they fold in like this. They can also, the ear cups also fold down so you can lay them flat. They don't rotate this way, well, a little bit, but just enough where you can get a good fit on your head. So let's talk about comfort. Comfort, they are very good. They're very lightweight, so they're not going to dig into your skull. They've got just enough padding here to remain comfortable. The ear cups are circumaural, like I said, but depending on the size of your ear, they may not actually envelop your ear. I would call these a hybrid of supraaural, which is on ear, and circumaural. They kind of lie somewhere in the middle, but they're very comfortable regardless. I would say after around an hour and a half, 2 hours, you'll have to make a slight adjustment. But other than that, I could wear these for a long time, like if I was mixing a track down or something like that. So yeah, comfort, I would give an A-, similar to build. So how do they sound? Well, I would honestly call these just about the best buy that you could make as far as an entry-level closed back. I don't think there's a headphone out there that competes with this in that price range. These generally sit at around $80, $84, and they're pretty much just a steal. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I can't sugarcoat it. I can't soft soap it. These are a steal, and why they're a steal is because of the sound signature. It's marvelous.
It is marvelous.
Yeah, so the bass, you've got that a mid-bass hump around between 1 and 2 hertz, 100 and 200 hertz. But other than that, I mean, and it doesn't make the bass sound unnatural or muddy or overblown. The bass has impact, it has thump, but it's not in your face or out of its place. It just kind of sits really well in the mix. The mid-range is fantastic as well. It's pretty balanced and flat overall. You're not gonna, like with a headphone like the HD600, there's a 3K spike, not spike, but there's like a 3K hump that kind of can get grating after a while if you're listening really loud. But with the V6s, it's more or less a straightish line, and that's what really makes these headphones awesome, because they're balanced and they're pretty flat as far as the mid-range is concerned. So you're able to hear all kinds of crazy details, and the instrument separation here is fantastic as well. As far as the treble is not as bright as a 7506. In fact, I actually prefer these over the 7506 because with those I felt like sibilance became an issue, and a lot of people say that they prefer those for mixing, but I think these will do better for mixing because they're not going to fatigue you, and you're still getting more or less the same amount of detail. I mean, I used to have the 7506s and I loved them, but they would get really, really fatiguing after a while, and I don't get that with these. That's why these do a little bit better as a casual headphone, because of that. They also work well for mixing, mastering, and reference, but they're kind of a jack of all trades type of headphone, which I really appreciate. There's a spike at 10K, which is pretty standard for most headphones. There's always going to be a spike somewhere in the treble, but the spike here it doesn't feel unnatural or disorienting. It's just it's necessary, and it really brings out instruments and vocals quite nicely. So I would say almost a perfect sound signature in my opinion. Yeah, so I'm just going to give a quick rundown of why I think these are the best entry-level closebacks that you can buy. I just love them so much. Yeah, that was stupid. Longevity, like we talked about, these guys have been around for decades. They will not go anywhere anytime soon. In fact, I firmly believe that every engineer should have a pair of these, and most do, to be honest. Either these or the 7506s. A+ price to performance ratio. Like I said, these are a steal. You can't really beat them. I believe them to be just about the best purchase you can make when starting out, and there isn't much they don't do for the price. So, in my opinion, these have a really good sound stage for a closeback. I'll frequently, jerk my head, and just to make sure the sound is coming from my headphones and not my apartment, because there have been times when I thought that the sound was inside of my room, which is pretty cool considering these are so cheap and they're closed back. Yeah, you don't really expect that with a headphone like this, but I was pleasantly surprised. Incredible sound for the price point. They really do compete with headphones way out of their price range. I do believe these are better than an M50, and the M50s sit around 50Xs now, sit around $150. They have really good build quality, like I said. They're not indestructible, but they are above average, and they have really great instrument separation and tonal balance. One of the main things that I noticed when I put these on is that the clutter, like when you're listening to a bad headphone or a bassy type of headphones, the sound just seems kind of cluttered and you can't really hear what's going on. These kind of lift that veil off, and you're able to hear more intricacies and, you know, sounds that you may have missed before with other headphones. These also work as a critical listening as well as a fun headphone. Like I said, they do well in studio or as a casual headphone. They can also be used in studio or on the go. These are pretty portable. I could fold them up and just throw them in my laptop bag and not really have to worry about it. The coiled cable is, with the 7506, it tended to kind of tangle up on itself, but then again, back then I didn't have as many headphones as I do today, so I don't use these every single day. So, but the cable it's compact. It's compact enough to just, you know, throw in your bag. You don't even really have to put these in the case, I don't think, but they do come with a case. The case is adequate. It's nothing special, but then again, these are like $80 headphones. So, and last but not least, they are genre happy. I can listen to just about anything with these, and they're gonna sound good. I listen to mostly hip hop, indie pop, rock, some folk, and some jazz, and they don't do bad. There isn't any one genre that they won't work with, as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, they terminate in a 3.5 millimeter jack, pretty standard, and they come with a 1/4-inch adapter and the case, like I said, and that's about it. But this is pretty much all you need when you're starting out, in my opinion. It's not a bass head headphone, but it's got plenty of it. I mean, I can jam out to these with hip hop, no problem. EDM, no problem. So that's about it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hate, flame, give me constructive criticism. My channel is new, and I could really use y'all's support. So I may have come off a little sarcastic this go around, but I had to re-record this video because the lighting wasn't right. So, thanks for watching, and peace out. See you next time.